Ignoring red flags turned me into a 20-year-old single mother. Did he hurt me? Did he deceive me? Yes. But it's my fault that I'm here. It's my fault. Because I ignored the signs. I ignored the red flags. No one else told me to do it. I'm not going to get too much into the story, but only what's necessary. Because the main thing here is, how did I get myself in this situation? Growing up, I didn't have the guidance that I needed to get into adulthood. I had parents, I have family, right? I did. But I wasn't taught anything about healthy relationships. I wasn't taught what to look for in a man, how to love myself, how to go about dating, relationships, waiting for marriage. I wasn't taught any of this. Children and people in general learn from example. We are their role models. We lead by example. They observe what we do and copy. I was one of those who saw what was done and had to decide, is this what I'm going to do? Or am I going to choose to be better and do the opposite? And I chose the higher route. However, trying to figure out things on your own, you're gonna make mistakes. Everyone's gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. But I wish I had somebody to tell me the things that I hopefully am going to get across to you today. And so I met a man, right? Dating app. We went out, He was so charming. We spent a lot of time together. Talked on the phone a lot. Went on lots of dates. So I had feelings for him, Not too long after us going out, we were intimate with each other. And many times after that, there were so many red flags. So many. In the beginning, didn't spend too much time together yet, so I didn't have strong feelings for him. And there were a couple red flags. And I looked past them because I'm like, okay, not that bad. There was something about him that was mysterious. And I wanted to figure out what he had going on behind the scenes. Instead of turning around and saying, no, I'm going to leave him alone. I wanted to figure out what it was about him that I didn't know. Somewhere along the line of getting to know him, because I didn't know him at all, I had feelings for him. I developed these feelings, especially after getting intimate. As a woman, you're going to develop these feelings. And I became blind because I was ignorant. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't love myself. I didn't know what it actually meant to love myself. I didn't know my worth. And he knew that. He knew some of my home life. I opened up to him. So many signs, not only from him, like things not lining up, or him being on his phone in front of me constantly. Him only spending money on me when it benefited him, to sleep with me. So many different signs. Him rushing into the intimacy, making me feel uncomfortable. I ignored all of this. I ignored my spiritual gifts because I was unaware. I didn't know myself yet. My intuition would tell me things and I would ignore it. If it's one thing, you should never do is ignore your intuition, because it's never wrong. It's never wrong. That first thought, that first instinct that you have, yeah, that's a gift. You listen to that. Not only that, but our bodies are created with survival instincts, you know. So certain butterfly feelings where you know it's not right, listen. Your body tells you things, and you don't ignore that. But I did. He got close to me. And he got close to my ear, and he whispered something in my ear, and it's like his breath told me certain things about him. And I brushed it off, because I'm like, oh, maybe not, you know, I'm tripping. Meanwhile, it was true. I picked up on a spirit. God was showing me signs, many signs, revealing things to me that it's like I wouldn't be able to see any other way. And you know what these are. You're able to pick up on these things when dealing with people, and you don't ignore that. It was sign after sign after sign after sign. And the longer I dealt with him, the more blind I came to these. And that's what happens when you don't know your worth, when you have no boundaries, when you let yourself get that far. Before you're intimate with anybody, get to know them. I was picking up on these things, right? And I'm like, yeah, something is off. But I don't think it was until I was bored enough to finally say, I'm done. And I left him alone. But by then, I was already pregnant. I became pregnant right before I cut him off. Chances are, he was picking up on that and got me pregnant to keep me around. Some men will do that and trap you with a baby. And it wasn't until I became pregnant I really saw his mask come off. The disrespect, the way he really felt about me showed. I was in a dangerous situation, and I didn't even know it at the time. So he played with my feelings, he got me riled up, you know? I had told him if I got pregnant, I wouldn't abort the child. And so he's keeping all of this in mind. A grown man, knows when he's hurting you. Keep that in mind. It wasn't until after I became pregnant I learned who he really was. And the only way I found out, I had to Google reverse search a picture of him from the dating app that was found afterwards. It wasn't until then I found out his real name. It wasn't until then I found out his real age. I know what you're thinking. I'm stupid. I'm ignorant. I was naive. And I know that there are a lot of other young women out there who are in the same position or who could potentially be. It wasn't until then that I learned he was married. It wasn't until then I learned he's a criminal, and he's done this to other women. You young women, and even older women, you need to be careful. This is why playtime with men, with intimacy, is not a game. You don't play with yourself like that. There's a reason you wait until marriage, okay? I would not wish on anybody being a single mother. You don't know how hard it is until you're in that position. A single parent in general, right? It can happen to men or women, but I digress. Giving your body to people, I get it. You're younger, you have hormones, you want to have fun, it feels good. until you get stuck in a situation. Being a single mother, struggling financially, having no sleep, having to work through my whole pregnancy, having to do everything on my own, and having to deliver a baby by myself isn't even the worst part. Because I enjoy being a mother. Thankfully, I wanted to be not like this, but thankfully, I wanted to become a mother. But the worst part is that I could have been killed. I could have been kidnapped. I could be off the grid right now, and nobody could know where I am. I could be in a lake right now. I could be in an underground tunnel under a hotel right now, okay? I know you heard that story of the girl who was found in that water tank, right? You know how many people go missing? How many young women go missing? It's by people who know people who have connections, okay? A lot of times, it's by people you get close to, people that you care about, people who have your trust. Yeah, so you see a lot of situations, women, in parking lots, getting in their cars, or, trafficking that way. But why do you think so much of it goes unnoticed? It's people that you know. I was blessed enough to have God by my side. I was blessed enough to get away. And there's a lot of women out there who don't get away. You see them all the time, disappearing. Don't think it won't happen to you. After the pregnancy, I was trying to get a PFA. And so I didn't know what else to do but to try to get his license plate. Maybe from there I could get something. This was before I reverse searched his image, right? And was able to do things that way. Because like I said, I knew nothing about this man except for what he looked like. We went on a date. We went bowling. And he starts talking to me. He's asking me, why won't I touch him? Why won't I be intimate with him? Why won't I go back to the hotel with him? And he starts, unwarranted, mind you, because I didn't say anything that could have warranted this kind of response, this kind of answer, whatever. And he starts going on about how he couldn't kill me at the hotel because they would ask, who was I last with? The hotel would look at cameras. But you know how that may not be true? If he knew the hotel owner. We went to the same hotel every time we saw each other. The same one. He wouldn't take me to any other hotel. It's small things like that, details that you don't ignore. By the grace of God, I was able to get a PFA. I was able to move away. I had to change a lot of things. By the grace of God, I am here talking to you today. Don't think it can't be you. Ignoring the red flags, right? There are women out there married to men like this. Married to men who abuse them and they don't know where to go. And if you're watching this, I want to tell you that just like me, God can help you. With God, there's nothing you can't do. You don't have to worry about a thing. You are safe. God is the only reason I am still here. I am fully convinced of that. He's a little antsy. He's a blessing, right? And speaking of that, that's how I was able to forgive him. What helps me to forgive people is to come up with a reason why I forgive them. You speak it out loud. I forgive him for hurting me. I forgive him for deceiving me. I forgive him for lying to me. I forgive him for making me a single mother. Because he gave me the greatest gift that anybody could ever give me. Because something caused him to be this way, right? Because I've also done this to myself. We have to be honest with ourselves, right? So when we do get in these situations, don't beat yourself up because we all make mistakes. Take accountability. The best thing you can do is learn from it. Take from it and learn from it. That's what we're here for, to learn and to become better versions of ourselves. Don't beat yourself up about it. Forgive yourself. When you forgive others, don't forget to forgive yourself as well. When you pray, you may not have a relationship with God right now, right? It's never too late to start. God's waiting for you. And this is actually a sign. If you made it this far into the video, God's just waiting for you to turn. Turn to God. And I promise you it'll be the best decision you'll ever make. And so if you're one of the women who are in a marriage with a dangerous man, there's a way out. It's through God. Even if you don't know where to start, where to go, start with a prayer. And you can pray in your own way. What you feel called to do, do it. Either way, God's gonna listen. I'll start for you. Dear God, first I want to thank you for keeping us safe. Keeping them safe, as well as their children and loved ones. Allowing them to see another day. Allowing them to be here. Because we need them. There's people out there that need them in this world. And we know that they're important and they have a purpose. And that they're here for a reason. And they are so valuable. And they are so beautiful. And I pray for their safety, God, that you show them just how real you are. Show them that you're truly there for them and that they can get out this situation. I pray for their safety. Send them angels. Help guide them out. Lead them the way. Give them the steps. Strengthen their faith. Give them the courage they need to be brave and step out so that they can live their life. The beautiful life that you have for them. Because they have so much life left. And they are so worthy and deserving of love and a better life. And that peace can be achieved. Let them know that it may be hard, but it's possible. It's possible. Let them know that as they let go and let you take the lead, that it's easy. It's way easier. I thank you for allowing me to reach their hearts, allowing them to take that first step. Thank you, God, for the blessings that you have for them that we don't even know of. Thank you for hope and love. Please, thank you again. Ashe. It's okay if you need to cry. It's okay if you're afraid, even while taking the steps. That's where the bravery comes in. Doing things, even throughout the fear, even through the discomfort. And you will find that it becomes easier with time. There's going to be a day where you look back at this moment. You're so glad that you got there. You look back at this moment and you're like, wow, I came a long way. And don't be upset with yourself for getting in the situation you got in. Don't be hard on yourself. Because the important thing is, you're a warrior, first and foremost, and you are beautiful. Your soul is so beautiful. And there's so much more out there for you. There really is. And you deserve it. Okay? If you don't know a way, you don't know the first step, let God lead you. You'll know. You'll know. And don't be afraid to make that move. I strongly advise you to watch a previous video of mine about letting go of fear. Because I'm feeling a strong message from that too for you there. And God loves you so much. For real. I wish you well on all of your endeavors, and you're gonna do great. You are.